What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven here with some more Fairytale Fables, and I've got a little bit of things to cover before we jump into some gameplay here. When you load up the game, you might see an announcements pop up. I accidentally X'd through that, so I'm sure I could find that information on Discord, at least partially. But I'm going to go over some things that I remember from it, and then I'm going to play an asynchronous game just because there's sure to be some changes and I don't want to miss anything. But I do want to cover some other things before we get started. I've actually been playing the game a little bit just off camera on my phone. You can download the game for iOS. There's instructions for how to do that on the game's official Discord. And I've been playing asynchronous mode only. So I've gotten that up to like almost 1,000. I haven't played that much, but I've still gotten a few reps under my belt. And there's a few different tribes that I'm now at least a little bit more familiar with in the game. Some other things that I wanted to talk about before we get into the game. There is a daily login. I hadn't noticed that until like a few days ago. It's not quite daily. Every 20 hours you can click it, and it's not on any type of set schedule. It's 20 hours from whenever the last time you clicked it was. So this says 14, that means I clicked this 6 hours ago. And then in 14 more hours, I can click it again, which is a great reason to download it on your phone, because then you can just, even if you're not by your computer, just load up the app, click it, and shut her down. And one other thing that I wanted to bring up, similar kind of thing here. If you haven't already heard, there is a code release hype, and you can get probably 4,000 crystals. There was another code that's already expired. I will try to let you guys know about codes as soon as I hear about them. So there were a few changes to like units and things. One other thing though that's kind of exciting is they split the ranked system for chaos and non-chaos. So now there's 4 different ranks in the game. I wonder if there's 4 different leaderboards. Yeah, it looks like there are. And I definitely want to do some chaos in the future, because I'm just going to hop into this right now. I want to do some chaos in the future because you get 1 free per week. I don't know when that rollover happens, but I feel like I should get into that as soon as possible here. I do think both of these heroes are cooler than both of these ones. This is like super nothing. Trophy Hunter, each fight 2 slays are repeated 1 time. I'm sure that could be somewhat interesting. And I haven't really made a slay comp work. So let's take a look at it. We also get pretty good, we get an additional attack and an additional number of attacks. So that seems pretty good for the start of the game. We've got a short sword we can't pick up, a cat angel. This is a nice combo, but I do think I'd like a freshen up to kick things off. We have a lot of control over what our first purchase is. Oh, that's really interesting. You don't get to see the collection. Oh, it's down here. It's down here. Okay, so we can look at the collection. We can take a look at all level 2 characters. And we could see, like, are any of these things, like, particularly exciting? Freed Prince kind of is. Nothing's going to be slaying on these first fights of the game. Oh, we can also see familiars, which are not something I'm familiar with. Hardy har har. Young Parrot does have a slay, so let us roll for Parrot. Still no Parrot. I don't hate the Smiling Sprout, and the reason for that is it does seem like a cool character to try to scale up. But I'm going to use my free roll here. Not going to buy a lane, and then I get freshen up for 1 final free roll. Let's take it. And then I feel like I might as well just pick up a gold-laying goose this early in the game. And I might lock onto a short sword here, because that's about as good as you're going to get here too. So I think picking up a golden goose turn 1, I'm not even sure if that's something I've had the opportunity to do yet. And also we see Black Sheep has been buffed with 1 additional health. So that is a new character to pay attention to. A second gold-laying goose. All right. Well, we got to do that then. Let's freshen up. Let's Demon's Deal, then free roll, then paid roll. Would have liked to lock onto a goose there. Oh, I made a mistake. Okay, that's fine. I forgot that I had a gold banked here with the short sword. I should have used the Demon Deal to... I believe I could have picked up a parrot there. So that would have been a much better use of my gold. Like here, I could take Demon's Deal, sell the short sword, and then buy multiple things. The Dwarfy gets considerably worse once I no longer have the short sword, but I think that this is still probably the way to go about it here. And then I'll pick up Sword Squire, which does work with Trophy Hunters, Slays, and makes relevant units out of both of these. I'll play around the flyer and we'll stop here. So I have gotten a chance to play with most comps in the game. It's not, that can't be true though, right? Like there's still going to be a lot of things that I haven't done. So Snow White now scales when you purchase an item as well. That's pretty cool. This is starting to sell for additional gold. Pirate Gunner is just pretty fantastic, and I could pick up a lane to go with it, so I do think I will do that. Definitely don't want to buy a Blizzard here, but I'll roll and then... I mean, at the very least, I'm just buying this makeshift shield. There is Guardian Angel, which now seems to be a little bit more interesting. Maybe she now no longer pumps... Wait, if she pumps herself still, then she seems absolutely crazy good. Well, let's try it out here. Let's buy Guardian Angel. Is she just ridiculous? No. Okay, so it is a little bit misleading there, the text, because Aura still says give bonus to me, but I think this text was just cleaned up probably in a pretty nice way. Crew member plus Pirate Gunner is definitely still a combo, but this is fine because now I get to pump up my cat, which I think seems good enough. Could sell out of Tracking Dog to buy the shield. I don't think that does anything for me though. So let's move forward with this. My opponent's Genie Sandstorm takes out my entire front line. That's unfortunate, but hopefully not going to be too big of a deal. And then where do we go from here? Well, no, that doesn't quite work. Agent of the Moon will go nicely with our Trophy Hunter ability, so I think I'll pick up Agent of the Moon. I'll take the Demon's Deal. I'll roll, and I am preparing to sell out of the Gold-Laying Goose. And ideally, I'd like to pick up some other characters that could slay here, but I will just stock up on Agents of the Moon. I feel like that's probably a pretty reasonable way to play this. Oh, okay, so now it's showing 2-3. Interesting. So it's just like a weird bug in that first shop or something, I guess. We can sell out of the Goose and the Tracking Dog to triple the Agent, and could pick up a Magical Fox as well. I might want to just lock onto Agent of the Moon, keeping one in my hand, but definitely trying to get Magical Fox in for a turn. You know what? I think I will put a lane back in my hand, sell out of these two, pick up the Fox, lock onto Freshen Up plus Agent, and then I guess that means I'm playing like this, which seems totally fine. Yeah. Reasonable chance for Magical Fox to slay. And if it slays 3 times, which gets to make my board go crazy. It does get the slay. So the Agents of the Moon are immediately pretty big, and now I'm going to triple them. And there are some treasures that care about slaying. An additional, yeah, whenever you slay, they gain +1/+2 permanently. This seems like we could make slay go pretty crazy. So, 2 slays are repeated 1 time. It's not 1 slay getting repeated twice. 2 slays are repeated 1 time. That makes sense. Magical Fox still already pretty crazy big. What is this? Nope. Let's roll. So Chameleon is a slay. It's also a cool thing to pump up with Pirate Gunner. And I think that's a great place to start. So I'll pick this up, and then one final roll before we hit level 4. A second Pirate Gunner is not terrible, but I don't think we ever lock on 4.0 here. We're just going to look for Little Mermaid, and lurk for Little Mermaid as well next turn. I think that'll be quite good for me. So I think my thing right here, my Magical Fox, is big enough that it probably does not need the Sword Squire. I'm definitely looking to get Chameleon in at some point. I like Detective Apprentice. I also like Radiant Fairy combined with Pirate Gunner. I got a shop full of 4s. That almost feels like it's too much. Like they are like intentionally giving me extra 4s here. I do like Radiant Fairy plus Pirate Gunner, so I'm going to pick up that. I do think Detective Apprentice is good, especially on a character that has an additional number of bonus attacks. Maybe I just play this. Actually, this is bigger. And then let's free roll. I've got Medusa. I've got another Angel. But we're just going to hop into the fight here. My character does not stick around, but Chameleon does get the slay there, so that's kind of cool. I'll have a tier 5 from Chameleon, and that gives me Nocturne. Your characters have slay +1/+2 permanently. Okay. So now all of a sudden, Agent of the Moon has a slay ability. And all of my characters have a slay ability, which kind of makes me want to just keep Agent of the Moon back here and let it go kind of crazy. Yeah, I think I will be doing that instead. This seems like such a good hit that I don't even want to True Love's Kiss it. I just want to find a Little Mermaid to kind of go even sillier here. Kind of over Guardian Angel. So Monster Charm would allow something else to scale too. Maybe I just try to scale the Radiant Fairy with Monster Charm. I do feel like I probably want this in any capacity. Well, for now, let's just put it here. And then I have to decide if I want to sell for Resolve. I don't know. It feels like we're making slay work here, doesn't it? I'm just going to keep with Detective Apprentice in. I feel like that makes it very difficult for things to go wrong. Agent of the Moon is up to ridiculous numbers. And I would love another one. That's exactly what I was just going to say. So now I move this agent front line. This agent gets to go back line. I think I even play it like this or something. Probably like that even. And just go absolutely nuts with this agent. This could swap out for Radiant Fairy now. Not in love with it, but it's fine. So I have never played with cats, and I know that they just nerfed cats. Still have not tried it. Don't believe we're going to be trying it on this game here either. Think I'm looking to replace the fox pretty soon. I think I will win, but I don't think I want to waste 2 gold on the Knight's Oath. I'd love to find a 3rd Agent of the Moon, though I don't really know where I'd even put it at this point. I think it would probably just be a good, solid pickup. Ride of the Valkyrie is meh. Pick this up for a moment here. Could triple Detective Apprentice, but I've already cut it. So I think I'm over that. Could try to triple Radiant Fairy, but I don't think that's super long for this world here either. Does this have... Whenever your hero attack increases? No, not really. This is worth it. 4 gold for an XP. And I think we're good to go here now. If we can make this Agent of the Moon get pretty big, then we're in a reasonable spot. It didn't really work out for me this fight. I mean, I'll still get a tie. I don't know how to clear that. Okay. This does have Slay, but I don't think it's an important slay, really. So the awkward thing was Agent of the Moon was not able to slay. I don't even know who I was playing up against. Oh, I guess I attacked into that owl? Who else could I have attacked into? Yeah, I think I attacked right into that owl and was not able to slay. Wasn't paying too much attention. And then this thing gets to go crazy. Your front row has +2 attack and triggers slay an additional time. It's definitely going to be something that I want, and definitely something that I want in the front row. Could take this opportunity to... No, I think this is about where I want to be. Medusa's a fine pickup for my remaining gold. I'm going to roll one more time, though. Okay, another Agent of the Moon does seem pretty good. And then I could even become level 6 next turn, which seems like it'll be helpful in finding me a Jormungand. So I'm going to do that. No mana next round. But I think this is the play, and I'll play triple Agent of the Moon. This first one should slay and help these other ones grow pretty big pretty quickly. It doesn't actually work like at an incredible rate for me there, but it works fine enough. And this Agent of the Moon is just going nuts. And now I'm level 6. So now I think it's just tripling this Agent of the Moon, trying to cut this Elaine at some point, though it's a little bit awkward to do so. I do want to get that Elaine in, and then Monster Charm could potentially move on to Jormungand once I find that. None of these particularly sticking out to me. Okay, I believe this is just a brand new card. Before I attack a character, transform them into a pig. Does not change the stats, but it will remove all of the abilities. So that is kind of cool. Saw 2 free coins on the turn that I started with no mana. That's awkward. Good Boy, honestly, I'm probably ahead enough that I could have picked up Good Boy and done something with it. And this is a new character as well. Slay +3/+3. And if you slay 3 times, you get a treasure. Well, we're really only going to have to slay with it once. So that might make it worth it. Who are we playing up against here? 50-50 to slay if I get first attack. So I am kind of thinking we play with this. Oh, even more than that 50-50 Yeah, it's going to be about 50-50 because they're going to cast some spells for sure in this. I need it to attack first, though. Seems pretty unlikely to work. But I think I've got to go for it here, and then... So it's got its own sleigh, and then it will get an additional sleigh from Trophy Hunter and an additional sleigh from Sea Witch, so I don't think it needs the Little Mermaid buff. All of this stuff is a little bit confusing how it stacks, but I'm going to go for it here. We've got no possible sleigh targets, so a little bit awkward, but Agent of the Moon will still hold down the fort here in the front row. That should be all that I actually need. Let's take a look. Can Kleck slay here? Kleck can definitely slay here. Let's give it just a little bit more stats, and I think that will be quite nice for me. Could give it a lot more stats, really jumpstart the sleigh, but I want to find some Jormungand's here as well. Hermes is interesting, but I think I can do better. Which one's this? Double my aura. Nope. Oh, this is a new card too. Dark Twig. Entrance, give your characters with stealth +1/+1 for the fight. For each time any of your characters had stealth during combat. Should that say like during your previous turn's combat? I guess so, because it's got that 0 up at the top. Okay. Dragon Fury will also make sure that we get the treasure off of Kleck. It might be important. I don't know. Let me see what all of these things do. Your boosts are stronger, your boosts are stronger, but we would see that affecting the board right now. So I think that board just isn't very strong. Alright, tripling another Agent of the Moon is going to be good. What does this do? Oh, gains Slay +3/+2 permanently. That's significantly better than this. But I think I do want this, and I'll take a look at what treasures are possible for me here too. I don't think any of these do anything. Each 2 times one of your characters charges a star. That does do something. Because Nocturne charges the star. So Nocturne would get pretty big. I think this is a skip, though, and a roll for Jormungand. Yeah, we'll keep rolling. I think I will cast this because it's the last coin of the turn and my last mana of the turn, so it just works out mathematically nice. This should be good. Okay, I was able to get that sleigh, so I think I get a tier 5 treasure from that and can potentially find something that synergizes nicely with this board. It's kind of confusing to me. But we get the win. We get a tier 5 treasure. When you get an extra hero. Your hero's +1 attack count and 25 attack when they attack when your characters are defeated. Poison Tree is good with Slay. That's kind of funny. Oh, and now this gets Slay +6/+6. Oh yeah, this is kind of just Lancelot, isn't it? And now it's quite large. I guess I'll keep it around for a moment. Or do I want to just get Fire Mage in there with some crazy slays? Yeah, I'm going to pick up Fire Mage instead. So Poison Tree plus Fire Mage Slay seems like a really good combo. And I'll mix up the order of those two. That's fine there. Yeah, that's really good to get those slays kick-started. I do want to support this with Little Mermaid now. This would be my final spell of the turn, so I guess I'll pass on that. This might be fine as my final spell of the turn. I'll roll one more time, though. Maybe Jormungand's no longer in the game. Can't imagine that's true. Alright, one final roll, and... That's not Jormungand. That's not Jormungand. Alright, let's move forward with this. Definitely don't want to choose a new hero. If Fire Mage can slay here, you know, I should have looked it up before the fight started, but we are able to get two slays there with Fire Mage, and you can see now it's already like double the stats. That's kind of nasty, and I think pretty powerful. So we should be able to just keep on scaling this Fire Mage something fierce. Making additional copies is interesting. Just killing something big is pretty cool. We should be able to get at least 2 slays with this, no matter where we attack into. So I almost don't want to like deny myself slays with this. I think I do pick up Narcissus. Free coin. I will grab a Little Mermaid, but I'm not replacing Sea Witch, so I don't really know what I'm doing with it. Don't think I'm picking up Monster Charm here yet either. Hearty Stew doesn't actually seem like it would help me. Stealth actually would help me on Fire Mage. I think that would be pretty reasonable, but I don't know if I want to sell all of this stuff for it. Gotta remember I've got a bunch of gold banked if I ever do need it, and then I've got the legendary Monster Charm to give Slay +3/+2. I don't think it helps me enough. Sure. Actually, I guess I just have to lock onto that because otherwise I'm like selling off the Little Mermaid that I just picked up. I don't think I can ever make use of another Agent of the Moon, but I do think I can make use of another Monster Charm. So let's get rid of this. I don't want to get rid of this, but I think I will. Well, let's see. Is this doing anything for me ever? No. So let's just put this here and maybe go crazy with this second Agent of the Moon as well. Alright, I'm happy with that. And Fire Mage will only get 1 slay because they played down a character. So that's a little bit awkward, but Agent of the Moon should still be able to take me home and get me a nice little victory there. Oh, No, I'm not really covering up anything. I'm only covering up my own treasure in combat. Oh, did my Poison Tree kill one of my opponent's characters? Not super sure. What's this? Nah. Still going crazy with Fire Mage. Your boosters in the back row affect your whole front row. Destroy the first enemy minion that attacks and kills. So I think we boost and then we double Mermaid. And I think now I make a move like this. So I think if we could stealth the Nocturne, that's kind of interesting, but it's also not super necessary. And then I might also look to cut this for Jormungand. Upgrading a character. Upgrading Sea Witch is probably actually pretty good. So let's do that. So now my slays trigger an additional bunch of times. I've got a bunch of slays on everything. Yeah, this seems kind of crazy. Yeah, that just doubled in stats again. And now this Agent of the Moon is an actual threat, assuming it can stick around and not die to stars and things. But that's fine. We get a kill there, unless that opponent was already dead, but regardless, that's nice. I don't know if there's other tier 3 or tier 5 treasures that I might want to play for. Nocturne could arguably be better than Agent of the Moon. The goal is kind of to just have a huge fire mage that knocks things out. I don't think another one of these will be helpful to me. I think I just want to roll for Jormungand, to be honest. Been saying that for a while. It might be out of the game. I guess I could check in the collection, and we could say probably has the highest attack out of characters. I don't know if we're actually allowed to sort characters by attack. Yes, we can. So it's a 2020. Woman in the Moon. Yeah, I think the name was just red. That was just a graphical thing. So it looks like it's still in the game if it has a weight of 4. Pick that up for a moment. Not really like checking out what my opponents are playing, really. But I don't really think that I need to. I don't think I need Unyielding. Let's just grab this. Grab this. Don't think I need any of these. Stealth, I do think could be interesting, because it could allow me to stealth Woman in the Moon or Nocturne, both of which seem pretty great. Honestly, I think I actually am just looking for first attack, though. And I think putting all of my gold towards having first attack might actually be just what the doctor ordered here. So let's do that instead. There we go. And then do we need it against this opponent? No, probably not. Let's just save it for the finals. Yeah. So anything else I want to grab here? I could sell 2 things and pick up a crew member. Nope, we're just going to battle. Sounds good. Best attack possible. Sounds good. Lady in the Moon goes up to 700, and I have successfully made a Slay comp work in Fairytale Fables. We will pick up the Hermes Blessing here, and then I believe, like, I'd be interested in some type of scam spell, potentially. This is... No, that one's not good. You need to get, like, the super one that allows you to still play another item on top of it. But basically, I think I just rolled past the spell that refreshes the shop. I guess we could triple Woman in the Moon. That's fine. Slay Moon could also actually get cut because I don't really care about scaling. So maybe I will cut... Just debating if I want to pick up this. I don't think it helps me though, really. So let's replace Slay Moon with a tier 6 treasure, get an additional entrance. Your characters have +2/+2 a bunch of times. Sure. Just a little more stats will help our Fire Mage attack in. And then I gotta roll for Hermes Blessing. Alright. I've got double Hermes Blessing here. That's funny. It doesn't mean I get the 2 first attacks. It just means I'm definitely attacking first. Honestly, probably should have locked that to make sure that I get one for the next fight, but I'll just roll just for that. Honestly, we could even get a clear on my opponent right here. Only 1 slay because the chair protect Juliet, but Jormungand's going to get that slay. Woman in the Moon, rather, and that should be enough to get the win. Not quite the kill, though. My opponent survives with 8 health. We could pick up Hermes, but my opponent is now playing the chair. It does make things a little bit more awkward for me. It might mean I actually am supposed to be cutting the Fire Mage at this point. Probably not. But I'm gonna at least consider it for a moment. Here's another Hermes Blessing. That is probably just a win. Refund the mana. Cool, cool. Wait, oh. That is confusingly similar to the other spell. I think I'm going to keep Fire Mage in over Agent of the Moon. But now I kind of want Stealth for something, potentially. We get another Sea Witch here. I don't know if it's better to play a Sea Witch or... Oh, I could cut Agent of the Moon for an additional Sea Witch. I don't think this is right, but it's kind of cute. Let's do that for a second, and then I can't quite Ascendance here. Lily's making some dreamy barks, which is so freaking cute. Definitely don't want flying. It's not super helpful. Oh, maybe a Hermes is actually where you want to go here. No, because it's also got flying. It's also got flying. Alright, so I guess I'm just rolling down here now. I could pick up another Sea Witch. I'm kind of just, like, interested in seeing how crazy those numbers can get. The other thing that's interesting is this opponent is a ghost because I'm not playing a live game. I'm playing an asynchronous game, and they just happen to be playing up against a comp where that chair was good the previous time they played, because it's not actually, like, super necessary against me. I was thinking about this. Blizzard is good if the Poison Tree lands on something in the front row. But it's not like we even need to clear the Poison Tree thing. Yeah, I'm going to do this just because it seems like it would give me a silly high number. I don't think I need a Sea Witch, though. Whatever. I'm not playing any of these cards. Let's just buy another Sea Witch because it seems like it could be cool. But I don't think we're allowed to put it in here. And I have to imagine a second Little Mermaid is good, especially with Divine Messenger. And what the heck, I'll cast the Blizzard. So we take out Juliet, and then I take out the book. Woman in the Moon gets up to really big numbers, and then that's where it stops. Oh, I actually lose this fight? Okay, I guess I got a little bit greedy. Alright, fair enough. Let's not do that then. So they are protecting Juliet with the chair. And they're protecting Romeo. It's an upgraded Juliet and an upgraded Romeo, which apparently are just good enough to just play by themselves. And by themselves, I mean play alongside other Romeo and Juliets. Huh, well this is a little bit spooky. If I attack into the chair, then I still slay the chair. This doesn't work. I don't want to take a damage. That doesn't really work. Oh, I could have been trying to upgrade Nocturne. Yeah, we lose our existing hero power. Is this all of their slays? Seems kind of funky. It's actively kind of bad. Alright, I don't have first attack for this fight either. Which could be terrible, but we'll see what happens. I don't think I lose the game from losing one more fight. Alright, I get a 2-for-1 there. Oh, I don't actually clear the owl. Interesting. So I think I made Woman in the Moon big enough that it's going to be able to trade with Romeo, but then I'm unable to take out Juliet, so I'm taking 6 per fight here, losing to Juliet each time. So I almost have to, like, pig one of my opponent's cards. This seems tough to battle through. Romeo plus Juliet looking kind of like a real comp, unfortunately. No, that's not super important. It's crazy that Poison Apple on Romeo or Juliet isn't doing enough work. Okay, Brave Little Traitor will be pretty decent. Because it will scam all of the stats away, which means that Romeo and Juliet don't get to pass those stats on. So I think this is cutting Nocturne. And honestly, I might even supposed to be doing something like this to have more ranged characters. No, I doubt that. This is just the most additional slays. I think I cut Nocturne. I still play 1 Sea Witch. I want to keep this here. Oh, I could just backline the Brave Little Traitor. Oh, that makes it really tough for me to lose, doesn't it? Yeah, I feel like that makes things really, really strong for me. And probably this is... I don't know which of these things is the best. Maybe I'll just get another Medusa, though. Yeah, the spider is probably a good way to try to scam Romeo and Juliet as well. It's a little bit awkward, because it could just wind up attacking, but I think it's worth just playing any and all scam we can add in here. And I do think I want to start selling down here. Because I think I want to use all of my gold towards... attacking first. Because I think this is going to be the final turn here. AKA, I'm going to make it the final turn. I think these were all fine sells. Alright, let's see if this is enough, adding some additional scam onto the board. That's not going to be enough to clear the spider, nor is that. So the spider stays living, scams the Juliet, and we grab the win. There we go. It's all it took. Took a little bit long, but we find another first place finish. So that was my first win, my first successful game with a Slay comp in Fairytale Fables. Some pretty similar stuff to Storybook Brawl, so it feels pretty familiar. Though there's a few differences that I haven't quite been able to wrap my head around, to be totally honest. I think I'll cut it there, because I think anything else I was gonna take a look at my history and show you guys some other things that I've played recently, but I think it'll be more fun if we just experience it live, and that way I'll talk about those things as they come up. I'm sure I will play all of the different comps at some point here, but for today, that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace.